What's up and welcome back everybody. In today's video, we're going to be testing the speed of these venomous snakes. Now behind me, we have 12 venomous snakes, and what we're going to do, it's feeding day. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to feed them. We're going to take a rat and we're going to use a slow motion camera at 120 frames per second. And we're going to see which snake is the fastest. Put these videos side by side. That way we can judge which is the fastest snake. Now we have some pretty fast venomous snakes in my collection. I mean, we have really fast monocled cobras. We have extremely fast vipers like the Gaboon viper, the Yucatan rattlesnake, the albino western diamondback. We have a taipan, blue and slow. We have a lot of venomous snakes that are really, really fast. Now, in my opinion, I think the vipers are going to be faster than the cobras, but we're going to find out. Now, before you watch this video, I want you to comment down below. You guys know what venomous snakes I have in my collection. Comment down below which snake you think is going to be the fastest. I personally think it's going to be the western diamondback or the Gaboon viper. But it could very well be that new hybrid or the Komodo Island pit viper or even a Pygmy rattlesnake. Now when we slow it down in slow motion and put them side by side, we're really gonna see who is the fastest. All right guys, the first snake we're gonna start off with is this Gaboon viper puff adder hybrid. Now puff adders are known to be one of the fastest, if not the fastest striking snake on the face of the earth. I would say the death adder and the puff adder are pretty much tied for being the fastest striking snake. And we're gonna get a shot from left to right. We don't want the snakes striking at us for the rat because then we're not going to be able to gauge really how fast they are. And we're going to try to hold it about 4 to 5 inches away from the snake to see how fast they are. All right, let's throw this in slow-mo and see how fast this guy is. All right guys, that was pretty fast, but I don't think that's going to be our fastest striker in today's video. Maybe he was a little bit tired because he struck when we came out. But that definitely is not as fast as a regular puff adder, so I think the Gaboon slowed him down a little bit. Now, the next snake we're going to be feeding is the coastal taipan. Now, coastal taipans are notorious for being extremely fast. Guys will say, yeah, I went to feed my taipan and he slung out of the cage, he went over my shoulder and blah, 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 blah. Now, this taipan isn't too bad. He's not going to come rushing out of the cage, but he does have a pretty fast strike. So let's go ahead, let's try to feed this guy. And this guy right here, all you guys commented down below when I said try to help me find a name. We decided on Ned. Now, Ned was like an outlaw, bushmaster, Australian guy who was doing bad stuff, running from the law, and he was pretty much just an Australian outlaw. And I think that fits the description with the coastal taipan. So his name is Ned. So right here we have Ned, the coastal taipan. Right now they're ranked like number 4 on most venomous snakes in the world. Now, people are like, oh, it's not the most venomous snake, it's number 4. That's really, really venomous when you take into consideration thousands and thousands of venomous snakes across the globe. So right now, that is the most venomous snake on the planet because it's the one I'm dealing with. And we are going to give him a little rat pup filled with panicure, so he is going to be dewormed. So I don't know where Ned is at right now. He's actually made little burrows by the aspen, so you can see he went in through that hole, and right now he's over there by his hide. Now that's extremely dangerous because you can't see the snake, but he could just be underground, pop his head up, bite you right there in the wrist. So what we're going to do, we're going to film from right here. I think he's in a perfect position to where I can put the rat right to the right, and we'll get a good shot. All right, guys, that was a pretty fast strike. That might even be fast enough to beat the Puff Gaboon hybrid. But that coastal taipan you saw, he grabbed that rat, he let go, he didn't go for more. We were trying to get a second strike, but we didn't. Now, the reason for that is coastal taipans, they know exactly how venomous they are. When they bite something, they let go, let it run off, and let it die. They're not going to go down and basically bite and hold on to the animal because they don't want to risk injury to their eyes and their mouth and their head. So that coastal taipan knows how venomous he is. He bit that rat. In reality, he thinks that rat is going to wander around the cage, die, and then he's going to go track it down. The same thing they would do in Australia. So let's throw both of those clips up side by side, see who's faster, and we're going to take the winner, and we'll compare the winner of these two snakes to another one, and then we'll take the winner of that, and another, and another, and another, and we'll figure out the fastest venomous snake in this collection. But don't forget, comment down below what you think it is. All right, guys, the next snake we're gonna feed right here is this leucistic monocled cobra. Now, a lot of people think she's albino, but she's not. An albino snake has red eyes, and they're all pink. This girl, this guy right here has solid black eyes, and he's a solid white, which in my opinion is way more appealing. I would rather have a leucistic animal any day over an albino. But this right here is a diamond line leucistic. Now there's two different kinds of leucistic when it comes to monocled cobras. You have the jollof line and you have the diamond line. So this right here is the diamond line leucistic. This is just a crazy snake. She's definitely gonna come flying for that rat. You can already see she's already trying to get me through the glass, opening her mouth. Just a really, really awesome snake. Now, those of you who followed me for a long time know I love monocled cobras. I used to have a bunch of monocled cobras. I actually got rid of a few of them to go ahead and buy this higher end leucistic monocled cobra. But in the near future, we're gonna get some more crazy monocled cobra morphs. We're gonna get like some stonewash stuff and some crazy blizzard stuff, all kinds of monocled cobra morphs we're gonna get on this channel. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's feed this leucistic monocled cobra. All right, guys, that monocled cobra was so fast, we couldn't get a good side angle on exactly how fast she was to compare. So we're gonna let her down that rat, and we might have to come back, feed her another one, and see if we can get a more accurate video. But guys, check out this hybrid eating that rat. If you look in between the rat's legs, it looks like a tongue, but that's actually a modified trachea that allows him to breathe while he's eating the rat. So you're gonna see it's closed right now, but soon he's actually gonna open that trachea right there. You guys see that open up? The craziest alien-like thing ever when it comes to snakes. But he's got probably close to 100 to 150 teeth in his mouth besides those two big fangs. And that's what they'll do. They'll just inch their way back and forth and back and forth. A lot of people say they unhinge their jaws, but snakes' jaws aren't hinged to begin with. All right, guys, the next snake we're gonna feed in today's video, which is one of my favorite visually appealing snakes, is this Komodo Island pit viper, which I got from my buddy Andrew. And this snake is growing like a weed, probably one of the best eating snakes I have in my collection. Now, it doesn't matter if she's in shed, if there's other snakes, she's gonna eat 10 times out of 10. But this, basically unpredictable snake, when I go to feed her, she'll be looking that way and then just bam, smash her rat. And it's a really fast snake, so I wouldn't be surprised if this snake is probably in the top 2, top 3 fastest striking snakes. And this is the Komodo Island pit viper. So these guys actually come in that beautiful baby blue, they come in yellow, and they also come in green. Now, the rarest ones are actually the yellow ones. You don't see yellow in Solaris at all. You'll actually see the most common, which is blue, which you think would be the rarest. So I think you see blue, the most common, then green, and then yellow you never really see. It is a super beautiful pit viper, native to the island of Komodo, the same place as the Komodo dragon. Do I think it's gonna be the fastest? Probably not, but it's definitely close. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put it about 3 to 4 inches away from her head and see how fast she is. Ooh. All right, that was insane. Honestly, I think that's the fastest strike we've had yet. That actually might be a winner. That is literally, I blinked and he already bit the rat. Like, that was insane. All right, so we're gonna lock him up. We got the Komodo Island pit viper. Unfortunately, the Mangshank viper only eats live. We're not gonna show that on YouTube, but this is a really fast striker as well. And you have to take into consideration, like when it comes to the blue and Solaris and when it comes to the Mangshank viper, these are super fast striking snakes because they're eating birds in the wild. Compared to eating rats on the ground, it's even harder to get a bird out of a tree. So if they're hanging on a tree branch and a bird either flies by, like, they're super fast. Now that's why these species of snakes, these arboreal vipers, are so freaking fast, is because they're eating birds in the wild. This right here is a western diamondback rattlesnake, native to the western side of the United States. This right here is an albino. And if you look at her, you'll actually see she has more of a yellowish tint compared to that leucistic monocled cobra. Now that leucistic monocled cobra is pure white. You're not gonna have an albino that's pure white, and that's why this girl is so yellow. But what we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna go about 3 to 4 inches in front of her and see if we can compare the speed. And look at that, guys. Look at the venom. This snake is known for always striking and just dumping venom. Probably the last venomous snake I would want to get bit by in here. Now, we had to get this rat super close to her because she didn't want to strike. So sometimes you got to put it right up to their mouth. So we're going to have a hard time judging how fast that rattlesnake is because the other snakes, we put it about 4 inches away. This girl, we really had to put it right up to her face. So we might have to do her again, but we might have a good understanding on how fast. We'll just have to see. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna feed a ball python and show you how much slower it is. Now this guy, he's not gonna bite it and let go. He's gonna bite it and wrap around because he's a constrictor. Oh, careful.
Oh my god.
He almost bit the camera girl. All right, never mind. He is fast. But let's see how much slower he is, or if he has the same speed as these venomous snakes. And that wasn't a venomous snake.
That was so close. Oh my god, dude.
He keeps almost biting the camera.
What?
Alright guys, now for the moment that I've been waiting for, and probably you, the Gaboon Viper. Now this Gaboon Viper is insanely fast, but he's also big, so he's not going to be as fast as those smaller snakes like the blue and Solaris. But this right here is a Gaboon Viper Vitis rhinoceros. You can see he got that last part of his Latin name from those giant horns on front of his face. This guy right here is actually a wild-caught Gaboon Viper, one of the first venomous snakes I got in my venomous snake collection way back in the day, a couple years ago. I basically was so gung-ho to get a venomous reptile, and I didn't want to get a real expensive one. I didn't want to get one that was captive born. So I actually bought this Gaboon Viper right here for like 100 or 150 bucks. And it's actually one of the most favorite snakes in my venomous snake collection. He's from the wild, but we went ahead, we got him tested, we dewormed him, we give him all different kinds of treatments because a lot of time they come in with lungworms. And this guy is doing absolutely great in captivity. He went from eating only live rodents to frozen thawed, and right now he is just a staple of my venomous snake collection and also a staple in my YouTube channel. Now, a lot of people who know this Gaboon Viper just love him. I mean, he's one of the biggest Gaboon Vipers. He's got the most beautiful blue, dark purples on his face. And he also has the biggest horns. Now, show me a Gaboon Viper with bigger horns than this guy right here. You probably can't find it. And that's just because he's so old. I mean, he was probably in the wild for, who knows, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. He could be even like a super old grandpa snake, but we don't know, because we got them, you know, wild caught as an import. They sit there, they lie, and they wait. And when an animal comes running by, they have one chance and they grab them. So everyone knows the pattern of a Gaboon Viper. It's just like leaves. Now, that's what they do. They'll sit in a leaf litter pile. They'll stay motionless for days on end, even weeks, waiting for an animal to come by. So when they have that opportunity to catch their prey, they're pretty fast, and a lot of the time, they'll make it work. I got no doubt in my mind that he's gonna strike. He's going to give us a beautiful, beautiful reading on how fast he is. I'm not going to know who's in first place, who's the fastest, because I'm doing this right now. I'm not going to know until I start editing my video. So what I'll do is I'll take the fastest snake and I'll keep putting him up to the next snake. And the fastest one compared to the next and the next and the next. So you're going to be able to tell who's the fastest by the split screen we do every single time we feed a snake. Now this big girl right here, I'm gonna tell you right now, she's definitely not the fastest. There's no way this 11-foot Malaysian king cobra is gonna be faster than a 2-foot Komodo Island pit viper. It's just not gonna happen. But it's gonna be really interesting to film. We're just gonna keep it not in slow motion mode. We're just gonna keep it raw footage. Now Shatid's been eating a bunch of ball pythons. She's probably had like 30 ball pythons, baby ball pythons. We ran through them all. So now we're getting her back on rodents. And ooh, yep, she got a taste. Ooh, look at that. Mid-air, grab that rat. Now be careful. Now she has very similar eyes to the coastal taipan, a round pupil, but super orange. Now we gotta be careful because she'll let go of that rat and bite you in the split of seconds. And she is all good to go. All right guys, now we're gonna feed the smallest venomous snake in my collection, actually the smallest rattlesnake in the entire world, the Pygmy rattlesnake. But like I said, size plays a major factor into the speed of these venomous snakes. Now, a smaller object like a bullet is gonna travel a lot faster than a cannonball, and that's why these small snakes are so fast. Now, right here, we have 4 little pinkies. Now, she's gonna eat all of these, but we're gonna take one of these pinkies to do this experiment with. And this right here, like I said, is a Pygmy rattlesnake, but she's not just any Pygmy rattlesnake, she's actually a striped Pygmy rattlesnake that I imported from Europe. Now, this little girl is so small, we never really get a good chance to look at her. It looks like we got a cleaner enclosure too. But she is actually for sale, so if you're in a state where you have a license and you have the proper qualifications, this could be your Pygmy rattlesnake. But let's go in. These are actually called the ground rattler. And they say if you're close enough to hear the rattle on this Pygmy rattlesnake, you're close enough to get bit. Now, like a lot of venomous snake species, they're not going to bite and hold on like a Gaboon viper. They're going to bite and let go, and that's exactly what that Pygmy rattlesnake did. All right, guys, and by this time, we should have a clear winner on the world's fastest venomous snake, and you guys are going to know before I do. Soon, we'll do a video on specifically a death adder or a puff adder and have it all about the fastest striking snake, but you guys know what's the fastest striking snake in this collection, and that right there is the end of today's video. Don't forget, like, comment, the most important part, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.